Hello and welcome. You're watching the national debate. I'm Padmaja Joshi. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, the question again is Modi versus who? Attempts are being made in the opposition camp to project the united front to take on brand Modi, but who will be the face of that united opposition if at all any such alliance takes concrete form? This is the question that the BJP has been asking, but increasingly there is one man whose face is emerging as a clear front runner, and that person is Rahul Gandhi, the person who has got a setback from the Gujarat High Court with his conviction not being stayed, with the Sessions Court order not being stayed, has decided to go on as a fighter, pretty much sending out a message that it is a fascist regime on one side and it is a fighter Rahul Gandhi on the other. On the other hand, the Prime Minister himself at length has spoken about how he wants to now go beyond, look beyond, make India into a Vishwaguru, whether it is his multiple engagements with world leaders or the presidency of India of the G20. The idea is very simple, that it's going to be a battle of two faces, two images, but in the rebranding effort, who has their nose ahead, whose efforts are really clicking with the Janata. Joining us on the national debate, we have here with us Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP, Karan Verma, author, Suhail Seth, columnist, joining us along with Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, Dilip Cherian, image guru, and senior journalist Ashutosh. Let me first ask you, Dilip Cherian, whose image right now is finding greater acceptance among the people, just off the top of your head?
On the sheer numbers of it, there's no doubt that the Prime Minister's numbers are likely to be higher. But what is very important when we're looking at electoral politics is not whose numbers are higher, but whose numbers are rising at a faster rate. And that is the question we should debate here. I don't have access to the exact numbers, but all I can say is that at this point of time, there is no doubt that the Prime Minister numbers are well ahead. There is no doubt that elections are never won because somebody's numbers are ahead. Elections are won because somebody has lost despite the numbers. So please understand that in terms of communications and in terms of the matrices that we work with, the parameters that are important are who's ahead on what date, what is the change, what is the rate of change of X, Y, or Z who are aspirants. But by election time, the question that we often ask ourselves is who is falling fastest, who's being opposed. So people vote against a government. People very rarely vote for a government that they want. So if you follow that logic, those are the numbers we should be watching.
Okay, Shehzad Poonawalla, Rahul Gandhi's graph is rising, and despite getting a setback from the court, he has said, do what you want, jail me, beat me, take away my membership, I will continue to fight. So a fighter, and everyone loves an underdog, right? Like it's a David versus Goliath. People are biting.
So first of all, is the Goliath the courts? And is he saying that fascist is the courts of law which has convicted him and not given him relief? So I think that analogy can't be drawn. But having said that, look, we have spoken about image building and image rebranding. Image can only be built. You can call a Gada a Ghoda, but does not mean Gada will run like a Ghoda. Image can only be built if the product is good. Now, if the product is defective, product lacks testing, product has no delivery, then what will you do even with the multiple amount of image rebranding which is going on from 2004? From 2004, images being rebranded, 2009, 2013, 14, 15, 17, 19, 24. We are still relaunching the same product. Now, let us examine the product. First of all, प्रोडक्ट की टेस्टिंग हुई है, नो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपीरियंस. प्रोडक्ट की डिलीवरी हुई है. आउट ऑफ 41 इलेक्शंस फ्रॉम 2014, 2 national elections lost, and out of 41, 21 have been won by BJP. Chalo, you are saying no, forget all of that. Let's go with Bharat Jodo Yatra. After Bharat Jodo Yatra, 6 elections took place, 4 BJP won, 2 Congress won. So product is not delivering also. Does product have guarantee? Product said that I will reduce the electricity charges in Bengaluru. I'll give you in Karnataka 200 units free. They increased the tariff. Product said that I will give you in 10 days Karj Maafi. In Rajasthan, 19,000 farmers lost their lands. In Himachal Himachal product said 1500 will be given to women, 300 units will be given free, 22 paisa of bijli was increased. So product is not having guarantee. It is like Chinese warranty. And finally, I would only say that product has no credibility. On the one hand, you have a prime minister who takes the economy to 5th position. Now it is going to 3rd position. Fastest growing economy, lowest inflation, and the world over, Mr. Biden is approving the credibility. From the Italian prime minister to Prime Minister James, he's touching the feet. Albanese is saying your boss. So this is the credibility. And other side, you only have product with popularity. Popular to Shakira bhi hai. Popular to Rakhi Sawant bhi hai. Popularity does not translate into credibility. Gadhe ko ghoda bol bol kar Tehseen Poonawala can come on TV and say Gada ghoda hai. But ghoda jaise nahi bhagne lagega.
Okay, with the greatest respect to Shakira and Rakhi Sawant, both they are earning their bread. But before
I have great respect for them. Their popularity translates into something.
Okay, before you come in, a quick rebuttal from you, Mr. Cherian. How much can a rebranding achieve when the product is defective? Ask Shehzad Poonawala.
In the general technology of image making, remember that a vast quantity of money has been spent on branding Rahul a Pappu. My view is that that money is as good as in the bank for Rahul if he's able to change his image, because the transmission is already done. There is an image which has already been put out. All he has to do is, if he can, and I'm not saying at this point of time the jury is out on that, and there's no doubt that it needs to be watched, that any flip will take advantage of the money that has been spent on branding him Pappu.
Okay, so he'll say it. This was not as much a failing of Rahul Gandhi, but money spent by Bharatiya Janata Party to make him look like a Pappu. That has been overcome. His stock is rising.
There is no question that Rahul Gandhi's stock is rising. Whether, Dilip, I don't know what Dilip said because I couldn't hear him properly, or what my good friend Shehzad says. Let's be real. The Bharat Jodo Yatra did help in creating a greater brand pull for Rahul Gandhi. The question that needs to be asked is Rahul Gandhi as popular as Narendra Modi? That's the moot question. There is no doubt that Modi is way ahead. But the Pappu classification that was affixed to Rahul Gandhi has slowly disappeared. It's another matter that Rahul Gandhi's vast intellect allows him to snoop into those same vestiges of intellectual innocence from time to time. And some of those comments are unnecessary or incomprehensible. But having said that, do not for a moment, Padmaja, doubt that, remember, Narendra Modi's brand is also suffering from brand fatigue. He's been at the top, just forget the prime ministership. Even when he was chief minister, for reasons right or wrong, he was always in the news. When that level of brand fatigue sets in, there is no question that Modi, in spite of the tenure that he has served, both as chief minister and now as prime minister, has continued to keep his popularity way ahead. I'm not very impressed with who touches whose feet and all that stuff. But what is critical is that Modi, as a personal popular leader, is the only pan-Indian leader. The person who comes closest to that today is Rahul Gandhi. There's no doubt. Mamta, no one else compares. Number two, today the public has also realized that just by using abuse or heaping abuse on a political person, you don't necessarily win. Have you guys forgotten what Modi said to Mamta Banerjee? And she still won the election. So over time, what will happen is people will start discounting the Pappu factor. Number two, Rahul Gandhi's team, to my mind, has to do some major proactive work. India is today a proud country than it ever was before. For him to go abroad and say things he does actually plays into the BJP's narrative, saying that this man is ashamed of the progress that this country has made. So willy-nilly, he's branded as anti-India, not anti-national, but anti-India. Also, I believe, Padmaja, brands are very, very fragile when they're in the public domain. If you remember, in 2021, when there was a crisis around oxygen concentrators, the brand of Modi also took a drubbing. Because people were saying that, where the hell is the central government?
But I want to
that.
pause you for just a second, because when we're talking about the COVID crisis and Mr. Modi's brand, here was the surprising thing. Most of the people who went out for the elections, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, Ashutosh ji and Tehseen Poonawalla, when we went out reporting after the COVID crisis, UP elections happened. Most of the people still ended up saying, "Isme Modi ji kya kar sakte the?" Such was his brand that even then, people who had lost family members ended up saying, "अरे मोदी जी थे तो संभल गया, नहीं तो शायद और खराब होता, ये तो विपदा थी, मोदी जी क्या कर सकते थे." That's where his brand held him in good stead.
But there's only that much you can encash out of a brand, right? So I accept that Mr. Modi escaped what should have been punishment by the people of India for his inefficiency and his government's inefficiency during the oxygen crisis. And I know I was working on the ground in Delhi. Delhi MPs were given oxygen by us. The Delhi BJP MPs had no oxygen. And this was a government that failed. It did politics during oxygen. So yes, he's escaped that. That isn't to say that he hasn't escaped it. But to say that that will hold on forever
You're
is not
calling
true.
it he escaped it? People repose their faith.
They have, but now, as Dilip rightly said, and so did Sohail, his brand is rapidly falling. Brand falls, Padmaja, when in Manipur, my fellow citizens are being burnt, when we have to send sanitary napkins to women, and those who are supposed to send it said the truck cannot go beyond Assam, and the Home Minister and the Prime Minister are campaigning in Karnataka. We can have political differences. You may think Rahul is bad. Well, no, Padmaja, I haven't finished. We can do that. But when in this country does it happen? Brand falls when our champion athletes are on the street asking for justice for being molested, and the Prime Minister refuses to take action for a girl who he calls family. The brand is falling. You may think people are not noticing it because you may have the ability to bully people today, but bullying does not last. Even Duryodhan used to bully. It doesn't last forever.
Shehzad Poonawalla, everyone wants national pride. Yes, when the Prime Minister represents Indians abroad, people are happy. But then domestic episodes like this, can they be ignored in the impact that they are having?
In fact, one of the foremost achievements of the Modi government is the manner in which we have handled COVID, and a state like UP versus a state like Maharashtra, which was in the grips of the MVA, or a state like Kerala, from where Dilip ji has connections also, with a 1/8 of the population, the manner in which the cases were rising, we have all seen, and the deaths that took place. So in fact, people laud Mr. Modi, that only under Prime Minister Modi, that when we used to wait for 40 years for a vaccine, today we had 2 vaccines in 8 months, and we delivered 200 crore plus doses. So this is in fact an achievement. And forget, why did I say about Prime Minister James or about Albanese? I said that on the one hand, the Modi's credibility is being hailed by global leaders, and here there is no confidence motion against Rahul from domestic players every day. NCP has left on record saying that no Rahul for us. HAM has left the opposition unity saying no Rahul
Answer
for
the
us.
brand fatigue part. Brand fatigue, domestic episodes impacting it.
You see, as far as brand fatigue is concerned, don't take, these are the same people who said till yesterday that Karnataka election is on local issue, Karnataka election local issue, Karnataka election local issue. The moment they won Karnataka, now national picture. So, you know, you are making an entire assessment on what you call was a local issue, on Prime Minister Modi's brand value or brand image when he was not on the ticket. And I'm saying, take this example, 2018 we lost Rajasthan. 2018, they formed the government with Tigrambazi in Karnataka, and they did not allow us to form in Madhya Pradesh. What happened in all these 3 states? When 2019 it was Prime Minister Modi, the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is such that we swept all these states. And therefore I say, don't get so quick in making your assessments. But having said that, let me tell you the fundamental difference between Mr. Modi and Rahul Gandhi. Just 10 seconds more. The difference is that Mr. Modi is a 24/7 committed to the Siddhant politician, and he delivers what he has committed.
Now even Rahul Gandhi is doing 24/7. Sometimes he is there in Manipur, then he comes back, then he's having a meeting of the Rajasthan Congress, then he's having a meeting of Chhattisgarh Congress before that.
And then
he's trying to change that image.
Despite that, if you have Rajasthan Gehlot versus Pilot, DKS versus Siddaramaiah.
Sachin Pilot yesterday said, I'm happy.
He's saying he's happy, and then we will see after 2 days he will be sitting on Dharna in Jaipur.
Well, that you're presuming. Maybe even Mr. Bombay could be sitting in Dharna in Bengaluru.
You might even say DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah are very happy. You might even say that Vikramaditya is very happy with Sukhu. You might say Nana Patole is very happy with Balasaheb Thorat.
Okay.
So I don't think, and I'm saying forget everything else. One last point.
Okay, one last point, then I really want to bring in
one last point. Tehseen, please hold on. I am saying that forget everybody else. See the most objective analysis. People who you should get together are leaving you. Mr. Akhilesh Yadav said, I will go with KCR, whom Rahul Gandhi calls B team of BJP, but Rahul Sang nahi jana.
Okay,
this is
quick rebuttal,
Akhilesh
then
Yadav.
Ashutosh ji. Yes, quick rebuttal.
You know, this in this whole cacophony of my way is the only way correct, in Karnataka right now, under the able leadership of the Prime Minister and Home Minister, the two most powerful men in the universe, they haven't been able to appoint a leader of opposition till now, while the Karnataka Assembly is going on. Please hold on. Please hold on. Please hold on. I never interrupted.
It's not a family business.
When you make allegations on Rahul Gandhi, he solved the Gehlot, Sachin Pilot, the T.S. Singhdeo, Baghel problem. We never denied there's a problem. You cannot appoint an LOP while the finance budget is being submitted today. You've not had an LOP while an ex-chief minister there. So please, when your weaknesses are there, you don't come on camera and admit it. The Congress has been open. Of course, Prime Minister is more popular than Rahul Gandhi. Nobody on this panel will say he's not popular. But the Prime Minister's popularity is losing fast. He's losing credibility fast for incidents like Manipur, Ajay Mishra Keni, for the wrestlers, and for many more incidents that have actually caused a bad name to India.
Now, but when you're taking on Mr. Modi, Ashutosh ji and Karan Verma, to you first, Ashutosh ji, what is the message that you are bringing to the voters? Let's take a look at the Mohabbat Ki Dukaan campaign of Rahul Gandhi. Now you have come up and said, Nafrat ke bazaar mein, let's play that clip, Nafrat ke bazaar mein, Mohabbat ki dukaan. Is this really something that is identifiable by the people, or it is very so कहते हैं हवा हवाई बात है? मोहब्बत की दुकान, वोट पड़ेगा मोहब्बत की दुकान के लिए.
I think first of all we have to understand that why BJP, there every spokesperson and every supporter of the BJP coming on the TV channels, they'll talk about Rahul Gandhi. Why?
Because
if you make an empirical investigation, you will realize that most of the time the Rahul's name is taken more than the Modi's name. That shows the power of that Gandhi word.
Yeah.
Because they cannot speak a sentence without rubbishing Rahul Gandhi. So I think that we have to understand that. Because they understand the past. Second point.
But sir, playing the devil's advocate, there are two main parties. If we're looking at 2024 election, there is BJP and there is Congress. Second largest number of seats in the Lok Sabha are with the Congress, and the face of the Congress, even Congress admits, is Rahul Gandhi. Who will we talk about?
No, if Congress party is good for nothing, if the Rahul Gandhi is good for nothing, if he's Pappu, why you need to take his name all the time? In every TV debate, something is wrong in the Colombia, Rahul Gandhi is responsible for that.
Okay.
They're linked up to that point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's me. The research which has been done by a book, in that research shows that Rahul Gandhi in the Congress name is on the number one and Modi is number two, number three. So that shows that maybe their spokesperson are told that, look, the only brand which can overshine Modi and the BJP is Rahul Gandhi and the Congress. So better keep trying, better keep tarnishing that and create an impression that it's good for nothing. And I think first time we have to understand, because most of the time we forget, that the power of propaganda. Since 2014, the power of propaganda is such that the people are forced to believe what they want to believe. And that's what it is working round the clock.
But Rahul Gandhi has held multiple roadshows himself.
I'm not talking about Rahul Gandhi.
He has done multiple rallies without BJP being the interlocutor.
If Rahul Gandhi is so bad, we till now have spent 2/3 of the time discussing Rahul Gandhi.
Absolutely, because he is a challenger, and we are looking at the possibility
if
that
he's so
he
bad,
will unseat Mr. Modi.
I'm saying if the brand is so bad, if he's good for nothing, he's Pappu, why we are discussing all the time Rahul Gandhi?
Otherwise, what are we supposed to say? Modi ji, jeete rahenge.
No, I'm saying, let's go into the history. How many elections Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Lal Krishna Advani has won since 1952 to 1984?
Okay.
How many elections? Was he a bad politician? Was he good for nothing? Was he Pappu of Indian politics? Because in 1952, the Janasangh got only 6% vote share.
Correct.
In 1984, again they got 7%, 2 seats. So they are good for nothing.
So
they should be thrown in the dustbin of history.
It is not about electoral results
why
alone.
they are saying, why they keep on harping on the Rahul Gandhi, because they're scared of Rahul Gandhi. They're scared of Congress party. Because it is the only party which is all India based and can anytime come please.
Okay.
Anytime can
just again to play, because I'm going to start with that point, the question I began with.
I want to answer this.
Yes. I'll just come to you, Karan. Could it be because when taking on a Mr. Modi, who is coming up with very specific issues saying Bharat Vishwaguru banega, Vikas, etc., Virasat, you come up with the concept of Mohabbat ki dukaan? Maybe that is why people can't trust. People don't really know what is your message except Mohabbat.
My dear friend was talking about India being taken more seriously now. Have you forgotten? When Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has gone to USA, who came to airport to receive him?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was India at that point of time?
But sir, I am just talking about Vikas versus
Padmaja,
Mohabbat.
in 1936, India was not even free. And Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had gone to the Brussels. The kind of
From that
response he has
what
got.
his agenda was.
Did I disturb Sajan?
Okay.
Did I? So the problem with him, it's like after 2014, everything has happened. It's basically disrespecting India, which happened before 2014. Don't disrespect India. India was always
that
taken
is what
seriously.
Rahul Gandhi is accused of when he goes to London.
Because they are trying to denigrate the Nehru-Gandhi legacy.
Yeah.
Gandhi, if you think that everything has happened after 2014, that means you don't have any trust in Gandhi, don't have any trust in Sardar Patel, don't have trust in B.R. Ambedkar, don't have trust in Jawaharlal Nehru.
Okay, but do you think
everything is
Mohabbat
only
works?
with Mr. Modi.
You think Mohabbat ki dukaan works?
I think that's an ideological position.
Okay.
Whether it works or not, only the 2024 election will tell.
Okay, you are scared of Rahul Gandhi.
Absolutely. We are all trembling here. I can't believe Ashutosh ji, a senior person, says that why is BJP talking about Rahul Gandhi? The first basic principle of the art of war, if we've all read it, is that an opponent you've defeated in the past is always your preferred partner. Rahul Gandhi, last time in 2019, in a head-to-head between BJP and Congress, BJP won 177 out of 203 seats where there was a head-on-head between BJP and Congress. In fact, BJP headquarters will be the first place to distribute sweets if Rahul Gandhi is declared the PM candidate. Not Mr. Modi, not anyone else. Rahul Gandhi is the best campaigner that BJP probably has. Because the moment he speaks, people know कि बस अब 2-4 सीटें और गई Rahul Gandhi की. So that is coming to that. Now, Padmaja, you asked a big question.
But Ashutosh ji is saying it is because आपने propaganda किया है.
आपने propaganda किया. Now I'm coming to that. Any brand equity, and Dilip ji is here, is made up of 4 things. One is brand salience. Brand salience is what is the first thing that comes to your mind? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you talk of Rahul Gandhi? He's a dynast. He has no administrative experience. He's out on bail. His constant gaffes land him into trouble. And what is it that comes to your mind when you talk about Mr. Modi? A success story. A man from humble beginnings who made it to the PM's chair. From 20 years, he has had rich administrative experience and he's respected by one and all across.
But that is what they're trying to change now, which is why we're talking of rebranding. Like Rahul Gandhi in the truck, for example. Or Rahul Gandhi on a motorcycle. Or Rahul Gandhi with a mechanic.
From your perspective.
Is he not out on bail? Is he not? Is Mr. Modi
I think
not
Mr. Ma
occupying the
is very bad in administration. I think he's extremely
is
bad.
Is he not from humble beginnings?
So
these are facts.
No. One second.
These are facts.
You can select and put whatever facts you want.
Am
you can select and put.
Am I lying here? Please correct me if I'm lying.
Fair. When I see Rahul Gandhi as a brand, I see here is a man who before the health ministry warned us about COVID. And the health minister came on record mocking us. The prime minister mocked us, said COVID is not an emergency. Here is a man who told us about the economic impact of COVID. And the finance minister and the prime minister went in parliament and said COVID will not affect India. Here is a man who's
impact.
Okay, hold on a second.
He said distribute cash
available to people.
US did that. I'm so glad we did not do that.
Okay, wait. This is not talking about vaccine. Just a second, gentlemen.
Actually,
let's keep this on track. Let's keep this on track. You talked about how he seems like an entitled dynast. Now, when people see that Rahul Gandhi is here sitting in a mechanic's shop,
yes,
fixing a motorcycle. You can't hold that against him, right? He is going to people. He is sitting with a truck driver, coming to
Kalavati 2.0. He used to do this even before. I don't know why you have such short memory. Kalavati 2.0. He used to go have dinner because see, for him it's the experience. Okay, I will go to the mechanic. We are coming from there only. We are born in those households, and therefore we don't need to go and take experience. You know, like many people to live an experience, they take ticket and they go horror show, etc. We are living in that entire area.
Meditate for
no, one second.
With camera.
Tehsin, I did not interrupt you. You were just setting the rules, Tehsin, for somebody.
Okay.
You don't
I'm
follow
just
your
telling
rules.
you.
No, let me
Like
tell
how
you.
some people from experience
Let me tell you.
Okay, no, wait. Since you said Kalavati 2.0, let
It
me...
is disrespecting Mallikarjun Kharge.
Exactly. He's come from a Dalit background.
Disrespecting? Prime Minister is the first OBC PM to complete his tenure. He's the first OBC PM to complete his tenure. Is this not disrespect for OBC? You abuse OBC so much.
Don't disrespect Mallikarjun Kharge.
Okay, no, hold on a second.
Because
Since you brought it
Mallikarjun
up-
Khadge had come from that background.
Just one point.
And people don't, he said it on record, people don't even take tea from me. He might be selling tea, Mr. Modi, but people don't even take thief from him.
But
So he's
Ashutosh ji,
treated
I mean, if we are
untouchable.
really going to play on the...
राहुल जी जैसे लोग ही
Manmohan
नहीं लेते थे उनसे.
and
बताइए.
Manmohan Singh probably had come from the much
Okay, hold on. Then if
that's a propaganda.
If you're invoking the caste and background of Dr. Manmohan Singh,
where was that railway platform?
then the Prime Minister's OBC background also should be considered.
Just anyway.
And calling him chor
No,
and saying चौकीदार चोर है, OBC चोर है.
If you're talking about facts,
सभी समाज को चोर बोल
Padmaja, if you're talking about facts,
Anyway,
Padmaja comes from a humble background.
All these arguments have been made and they've been thrashed in a court of law. Let me not get into all this. Now let me come into why are we obsessed, according to Ashutosh ji, emotional हो गए बोलते बोलते. We are obsessed with Rahul. Ashutosh ji, दो बातें बोलूंगा 20 seconds में. First of all, Ashutosh ji, if Rahul is such an irrelevant commodity and product, then Congress party should dump him. And they should find somebody better. Already some people...
So you think he's not...
Ashutosh ji, I did not interrupt you. Ashutosh ji, you are wasting the time. Let me not...
You are admitting it, na?
Ashutosh ji, please, I request you, give me 20 seconds, then you speak. That's how debates are conducted on your own platform. But you're not doing this here. Now I'm saying that if he's such an irrelevant commodity, Bharat Jodo Yatra, nobody else, including party president, gets that kind of infrastructure and attention which Rahul Gandhi gets. And then if we speak about him, and 200 seats, we are fighting Congress. But in the rest of the seats, Ashutosh ji, hand on heart, in Bengal, we quote Rahul. In Telangana, we quote Rahul. In Punjab, we ask about Rahul. In Delhi, we ask about Rahul. In UP, we talk about Rahul. In Andhra, we talk about Rahul. ये सारा प्रदेश गायब कर दिया महाशय आपने. Where are we talking about Rahul? In Bengal, we are fighting Didi. In Telangana, we are fighting KCR. In Punjab, we are fighting Aam Aadmi Party. In Delhi, we are fighting Aam Aadmi Party. In UP, we are fighting Samajwadi Party. In Andhra, we are fighting
What is your point?
My point is कि राहुल गांधी से obsession इन्हीं को है. ये राहुल कर पाएगा. राहुल हो जाएगा. नहीं राहुल का हो जाना है. नासा के बाद अगर एक ही रॉकेट को बार-बार लॉन्च कराने की टेक्नोलॉजी है तो आशुतोष जी में. He is launching same rocket from
पर चंद्रयान भी एक बार फेल हुआ था. अगले साल उसको फिर लॉन्च करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं ना. चंद्रयान को हम लॉन्च कर सकते हैं.
I counted how many times Sajad has taken Rahul Gandhi's name in the last 20 minutes.
You have taken
more than 41. More than 41. And how many times he has taken Narendra Modi's name? 7-8 times.
Please don't challenge him now. We will take Modi ji's name.
Rahul is so irrelevant. You don't need. See, if somebody so.
He's a relevant contender. People want Modi versus Rahul.
Padmaja,
okay.
You are not getting it.
I should answer about
People
Modi.
want Modi versus Rahul. Modi ji will pummel him.
Okay, now let's
obsessed with Rahul Gandhi. I'm the only saying. If he's so irrelevant,
strategic thing.
Why are you so obsessed?
Okay, let's be specific now. Karan Verma.
This, Padmaja, is proof of what I started out by saying. That when you spend a humongous amount of money and a very large army of people doing one kind of messaging, that messaging stays on top.
But here's the thing. I'll come to you.
I have 5 seconds. I demand 5 seconds. The legitimization of this kind of narrative against the people of India. The people of India have voted for Prime Minister Modi and have made a judgment on Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. Who he said then when he lost Amethi that look, these people don't understand me. Kerala people understand me. Yeah, sir, I think this... One second. This kind of classification of people of India who have rejected Rahul Gandhi and his politics as trolls or as manufactured is extremely disgusting.
It's unkind.
It's exactly what Ashutosh was saying. Where did Rahul ever say something like that? You just manufactured an entire quote to Mr. Gandhi, which is not true. And you've done it on national TV. It's not true. But discipline cannot come at the cost of somebody I vote for and a manufactured quote. I'm sorry, Padmaja. With respect, you manufactured a quote about Mr. Gandhi. Can you show me that quote?
Okay, Mr. Cherian.
Of course I can.
Mr. Cherian, you are saying that the entire discrediting of Rahul Gandhi is only born out of trolls. However, the Amethi result speaks otherwise.
No, I didn't say that. I said that there has been an expenditure on it. I didn't name anybody as being the person.
But ultimately validated by the people of Amethi.
Absolutely, and nothing wrong with that. And I think that electoral processes have a certain sanctity and deserve a certain respect, which all of us need to pay attention to.
Okay, now let me ask you a specific question again. When initially we said that you have got the Prime Minister's image being amplified internationally because people are recognizing it. But then Rahul Gandhi chooses to go the exact opposite. Went to Manipur. Manipur, he's sitting with children. Isn't it going to ring a bell in the minds of people that this is a man who is with the people? Yes, we want to be popular worldwide, but we also want somebody to be going among the Janata. Karan Verma.
Padmaja, people are far more intelligent than we think they are. they see through the nefarious design or a phony act. When Rahul Gandhi does a Bharat Jodo Yatra and accompanying him is a Kanhaiya Kumar, people associate Bharat Tere Tukde Honge with Kanhaiya Kumar. That is what they see. They know this Bharat Jodo Yatra is a farce because you go to a George Punaiya, a virulently anti-Hindu pastor.
But you're not answering Manipur.
Even in Manipur, there were slogans in Manipur of Rahul go back. There were slogans, Rahul go back. You think people are warming up to what Rahul Gandhi is doing here?
Let me see, I do all my debates with facts. Please see.
Go back, slogans are being raised against him.
Exactly.
Tires were, we can see burning. Remember, Manipur already has been a conflict state. There are parts where AFSPA has been implemented for years, but now this has gone to another level.
So Rahul, go back, and I'll tell you why. And let me complete why. And let me tell you, Ashutosh ji, please, I request you now, don't interrupt every time.
Prime Minister is not
This is not that kind of issue. Padmaja, this can't be the way to debate this issue. Please, Padmaja, I request you. No, Padmaja, this is absolutely uncalled for. This can't be that every time I make a point, he has to interrupt me. No, that's not the way.
20 seconds, please.
This is a different kind of format. Let me complete my point on Manipur itself.
But 20 seconds.
Yes, 20 seconds. First of all, in Manipur, this man has no credibility to talk. The longest blockade in the history of Manipur happened under Ibobi Singh. The fact is that 3 laws were brought into Manipur because of which the legacy issue, because of which you are facing. 8,000 incidents during 2004 to 14 took place. 3,000 people died. Where was this man in Manipur?
Visit, no visit.
Where was he? And I'll tell you, visit, no visit. One second, please let me complete. There was an all-party meeting in the beginning of May in Manipur. His party did not attend. There was Home Minister went. His party did not go. And in the all-party meeting in the Delhi, none of the national leaders, including Mr. Khadge, went. Nadda ji went. Why didn't they go? If they consider it so serious.
I will not take more than that.
Okay, one I hope.
Yes, of course, and Ashutosh, one I hope all our volumes are low. But more importantly, when all of people are more experienced in Manipur, were weapons coming across from across the border with drug mafia shooting people like sitting ducks with AK-47 and 56. Padmaja, today the situation is akin to Syria and Afghanistan.
Okay,
if you want to blame Rahul Gandhi's forefathers for that, go ahead and do it. But then resign from the post of the Prime Minister and Home Minister if you can't control it.
Again, let's stick to the topic.
Video of Myanmar and passed it off as a Manipur video. I don't know, Tehsin, which video he's seen of Syria and Afghanistan.
Ask the Chief Minister what he said in Manipur. They're sitting on high. Even Article 355 is input and Article 356 is not put. The Chief Minister is the problem in Manipur.
Gentlemen, let's respect the format. The question asked to you is, he went there, got a picture clicked, but can he completely ignore the history, and did the visit lack substance? Amit Shah, on the other hand, did go there, did have an all-party meeting.
2 things. First of all, the argument is something like this. बच्चे से पूछा तुम फेल क्यों हुए? पड़ोसी भी फेल हो गया है. You know, every time you ask BJP government, they say Nehru didn't do this, Indira Gandhi didn't do this, fala. I'm saying people are asking, you are a prime minister, a decisive prime minister, a strong prime minister with a majority, why you failed to control the violence in Manipur for the last 2 months? There's no answer to this question. If you're so good with administration, with a 20 years administration, including the 12 years as the chief minister and 9 years as the prime minister, why you failed? And the Prime Minister has not uttered a single word about Manipur, about Brij Bhushan Saran Singh, about farm laws. You don't speak. During the COVID, where was the Prime Minister? Nobody knows. And if the Supreme Court in its 2 judgments and the observation had not nudged the government, but the Supreme Court said, you know what? Smell the coffee. Where is the national vision? And asked that the file should be put up before us. We want to see the notings. Only then the government woke up. And nobody is taking the responsibility.
But
so
again,
if you are so good as a prime minister, why you can't control Manipur in the last 2 months?
But sir, again, I am asking you, in the eyes of the people, do you think a photograph clicked by Rahul Gandhi or a visit there for 2 days is going to be enough to prove him as a better leader than Prime Minister Modi?
I'm only saying today the country is looking at the Prime Minister. Please control violence in Manipur. Simple. Rahul Gandhi is not responsible for that. He's not in the government.
Okay, this is
so instead of asking question to Rahul Gandhi, we should ask him the question.
Don't make me raise my voice. You made a point. Let me ask you a very important question. He said on Brij Bhushan Singh, we are silent, right? The police acted, the Supreme Court took cognizance of it, and the police had to act in the directions of the Supreme Court. And then when people went to the Supreme Court, they said that let the Delhi police do what it's doing, even the wrestlers agreed. But on Chinmay Sripada, Where is your great national leader who says ladki hu lad sakti hu? Where 17 cases of molestation are there against Vaira Muthu. Not you, your Mandali, or nor your national leader Rahul Gandhi has tweeted one word about Chinmay Shripada. So you know this double standard. I am not saying my padosi ke ghar mein ye hua. I am showing you your past and your itihas. You have no right to lecture us. That's what I'm saying.
It's the same argument I said ना. मेरा बच्चा फेल हो गया आके बोलता मैं फेल तो हुआ लेकिन पड़ोसी भी तो फेल हो गया अब मेरे को क्यों डांट रहे हो अब मेरे को क्यों डांट रहे हो पड़ोसी का बच्चा भी फेल हुआ था और तो मुझसे ज्यादा कम नंबर लेके आया
आपका खुद का घर
अरे भाई द इंडिया Padmaja, India has chosen Narendra Modi with the majority for the simple reason because Congress failed. So the Congress failed, people had expectation that BJP will deliver. Why are you not delivering in Manipur?
We have just
Why are you not taking
one case of what is happening in one
case?
No, you failed. You have not
failed and you are trying to blame Nehru.
Okay.
Who has named Nehru? You did Nehru.
I
this entire show, Nehru has been quoted by you.
Okay, now let me come to Mr. Modi. Dilip Cherian, when the Prime Minister now tells people of India that with the G20 presidency, increasingly with the engagements that he has with world leaders as an equal, have people then, are people willing to forgive the smaller failings? You know, all right, Manipur took some time to be brought under control. There are a few controversies here and there, but now it is about the image. When you see images like this, or an Albanese saying, oh, you are the boss, you're like Bruce Springsteen, suddenly an Indian is like, this man makes me feel good about myself.
Terrific point. Whatever we've done with political leaders has shown us that at the time of elections, it comes down to basics. It does not come down to heroics. Global posturing and global standing is important for a small bunch of people. This bunch of people are people who travel abroad a lot or who have what used to be called the economy which depends on money coming in from remittance economy. Today, India is much less dependent as a remittance economy. Second, posturing and positioning globally depends on two things. One, the size of your market, and India's market is humongous and huge. And the second, on your ability to purchase. If you have the ability to go out there and place an order for whatever, equipment, power equipment, defense equipment, software, whatever it is, and we have huge orders in this, you get an immediate importance because in these countries, leaders are as much representatives in terms of imaging of their companies as much as they are of their countries. So they are acting actually as glorified salesmen working towards a leader who is a buyer.
But I have one counter to that, and this comes from personal experience. This is from Shimoga, where we were speaking to people before the elections, and of all people in Shimoga, one person said that while I will vote for the Congress in the assembly elections, for PM I want Modi. Why? Because nobody, this is Shimoga, and I thought usually all this nationalism, what is called hyper-nationalism, is a very North Indian concept. That person sitting in Shimoga says, because Modi went inside Pakistan and he carried out Balakot, which shows that India is now a strong country.
I think
so. Are we being myopic in saying that, oh, this image of self as a bigger country is only with the remittance economy?
No, it is also.
Even people in Bahraich, Shimoga, Thiruvananthapuram care.
The good thing about this country is that we still care for the nation and the flag and the sense that our country is secure and strong. That is aside. I'm not talking about that when I said the remittance economy. What I said was that the kind of posturing that leaders do is a public posturing,
but
and
sure,
very often
it makes me feel good about myself.
The optics of it is unfortunately related to market.
Okay, and then
I think Narendra Modi is my prime minister also. He's our prime minister. So when he's accorded any kind of respect, we all should feel good about it. But what is the fundamental issue is whether India is accorded that kind of a respect because of Narendra Modi or despite Narendra Modi.
Well,
we have to make a difference.
For the voter,
let's not forget during America visit, there was a man called Barack Obama, Mr. Narendra Modi's to be friend, like हम तो बारात का के बोलते हैं ना उनको, a very bosom friend. What did he say to Christian Amanpour? We have forgotten. It's a typical case because it's a government. No. And don't forget. 74 congressmen. What they have written? What the media has reported
That's
over
okay,
there?
but hundreds of congressmen took his autograph as well.
I'm only saying they are doing business with India, and India. We don't cannot ignore India right now because India is 140.
Okay, it's only that. No, but let Karan also speak. It's only business. It's only business. Nobody's feeling proud.
You know, whenever there is a brand, it's imagery plus performance, which equates to resonance. We've talked about the imagery of Mr. Modi. Let's talk about the performance. Dilip ji rightly said it comes down to the performance. 3 crore homes delivered. These are common people we're talking about. 11 crore toilets delivered. 37 crore mudra loans. 48 crore Jan Dhan bank accounts. These are hard numbers. And when Mr. Ashutosh ji talks about Manipur, other things, in the red corridor area, 77% less incidents of violence. This is a remarkable feat. We remember those horrid times from 2004 to 14 when we had bomb blasts everywhere. Lucknow, Agra, Delhi, everywhere. Today we've cut that down, and internal security has grown by leaps and bounds.
Okay.
Yes, we could have some incidents in Manipur which need to be addressed. I'm not denying that. But Mr. Modi has delivered, he has walked the talk, and he has the image of a success story.
Okay.
It's very difficult to counter that.
Just one line. You know, if I start counting that how the UPA failed in, say, maintaining inflation, or how the UPA failed in keeping up our growth, and today it's 7.2%, we're the fastest growing economy in the world, which it was never acknowledged as such before, they'll say I'm going back to Nehru's era. So I won't do that. I'll ask you only a simple question. The unemployment rate in Gujarat, 1.5%, UP 4%, Assam 2%, MP 0.9%, Uttarakhand 0.5%, and Rajasthan 20%.
Haryana?
So Haryana is there, na? Then why don't you show your project? You can show Haryana. Why don't you tell me what is your model? I've shown you a model. You show a model? You have no model.
Okay, let Tessie respond, please. Tessie.
Okay. First of all, 2 very quick points. And I absolutely take your point that people are proud about the country, and as Dilip ji rightly said, the nation always comes first. That's always been the case. Are the same people in Shimoga, did they not know that Indira ji as Prime Minister broke Pakistan into 2? Is it the first time that we entered Balakot? Did Indira Gandhi as Prime Minister defeated China in a war at the two-line Chola? Please, can I quote Indira Gandhi? Don't interrupt me.
I mean, look at this.
You cannot keep interrupting me.
I quote Manmohan Singh.
You cannot keep interrupting. What he wants, what's true for the geese is true for the gander. What's true for the geese is true for the gander with the volume low. Second thing.
If you don't want them to go back to Nehru,
go back to Nehru, then I'll also go back. Now, number 2, when you talk about Prime Minister getting a lot of deals and a lot of adulation in the US, which is right, we are all proud of it. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he got us the nuclear deal, the 1, 2, 3 agreement, without being a part of the. No, Padmaja, let your viewers hear. Padmaja, I request you. Let your viewers hear. I request you. One second. I request you. Let your viewers hear. We got the NSG deal without being a signatory to the 1, 2, 3 agreement, without being a signatory to the NSG.
Okay.
And you know who opposed that national interest? The BJP. They got cash in Parliament. They shamelessly got power. Now I am asking you.
Again, we are digressing. Hold on a second.
Please tell us about Rahul's
achievements. Why is it?
Please tell us about Rahul's achievements.
Hold on a second.
Prime Minister.
Hold on a second. Since we spoke about both contenders abroad. Listen to this. Since we are talking about both contenders
No,
abroad.
we're talking about Prime Minister to Prime Minister. Now I was telling you what the Congress
we are
Prime
talking
Minister
about the contenders, gentlemen. We are
No,
talking
when you
about
say that India is proud today, I am saying they were proud when Manmohan Singh also delivered.
Yes, they were very proud, but when you had to...
But the BJP opposed it.
Hold on a second.
They got cash in Parliament. Apologize to the nation.
Hold on a second. But when we are talking about who is in the fray for 2024, we are looking at 2 main figures. And in those 2 main figures, if we just look at what happened in the United States, you had Mr. Modi, who went there and people said, give me your autograph, I want to click a photograph. And then there was Mr. Gandhi, please let me finish, Mr. Gandhi, who said, India has no democracy.
Okay. I can show you several pictures.
As a voter, who will I gravitate towards? Somebody who's telling me that I am a terrible country, or somebody
Rahul Gandhi never said India is a terrible country. I take strong objection.
He said democracy is dead there.
Rahul Gandhi said that democracy is a public good. India will fix its own institutions, and there is a problem in India, which is fine. What did Modi go abroad and say? 1 second. What did Modi? By 1 second. What did Modi go abroad and say? Just give me 30 seconds. Modi ji, as Prime Minister, says in Seoul and in Japan that nobody was proud to be Indian before Mr. Modi became Prime Minister. I'm asking Dilip ji and Ashutosh, Hamli and Karan, were you not proud to be Prime Minister before Mr. Modi was born?
Well, then
he said,
people should have voted about in 2019.
मैं कूड़े की तरह सब कुछ कचरा साफ कराऊं. Is this country kachra?
Okay,
Is this country kachra?
I have last 30 seconds. Dilip Cherian, on as of today, as of July 2023, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of image, where does Mr. Modi stand? Where does Mr. Gandhi stand? With the caveat that this may change over the next few months.
My sense is that Mr. Modi is definitely at 8. And I would say Mr. Rahul Gandhi is hovering between 5.5 and 6.5.
Okay, let's see if the next 11 months is going to make any 5.5 and 8 is hardly close.
But do not forget that India never got such bad press ever after 2014. When Mr. Modi was there and President was receiving him, look what New York Times, Washington Post, Chicago Tribune has written about us.
Okay.
The man who dropped 26,000 bombs on several Muslim countries. We don't need validation from him.
You need validation. You don't need validation. He touches your feet.
Ultimately, the validation, because this is the national debate, will come from the voter. We have got massive state elections coming up. And more importantly, the big one in 24. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, for joining me. Thanks, viewers, for being with us on the national debate.